Andy LaRoche is much more than a third baseman for the Pittsburgh Pirates. He's a top-drawer individual with passion. He's got a real heart for children with Down syndrome, and he's using his celebrity to advocate for them. So join me for an on-field interview with Andy LaRoche and the people he's going to bat for. Andy LaRoche is the starting third baseman for the Pittsburgh Pirates, but he isn't just making a name for himself on the baseball field. Andy has a soft spot in his heart for children with Down syndrome. He's inviting these children and their families to the ballpark and bringing tons of joy into the lives of children who are often overlooked. As a professional athlete, you really are a role model for so many people. How do you think you can use that to benefit citizens and individuals with Down syndrome?
Well, I think the way I've been doing, I try to bring one or two people out, a homestand, that have Down syndrome, them and their families, and get them out here. And like I say, it does just as much for me, if not more, than it does for them, because, you know, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for them, and for as little effort as it takes on my behalf, you know, bringing them out here, just hanging out with them, introducing them to the team, you know, it means the world to them. And it's just great being able to see the look on their faces and being able to see how, you know, energetic these kids are and how excited they are.
So Andy, take me through step by step what you do with these individuals when you bring them to the park.
Well, what happens first, I'll come out here before batting practice, probably half an hour before BP, and I'll just get to know them, meet them, you know, them and their families. I'll give them a little gift bag with their tickets and some, you know, souvenirs and some gift cards for the concession stands. And then I'll come out here and I'll, you know, play catch them, let them hit off the tee a little bit, you know, pretty much whatever they want to do, whatever they're capable of doing, you know, with them and their family. And, you know,
so they get to direct some of the action, huh?
Absolutely, yeah. And then they come out and, you know, we'll hang out and, like I said, play catch, whatever. And then whether I get them a hat or a ball, I'll have them, you know, introduce them to the whole team when the team starts coming out and get pictures with them and everything. And then they'll get to, you know, get everybody's autograph, and then they'll get to stick around and come out here and watch batting practice with the team. And then I'll take them upstairs and show them around inside and through the cages and everything. And, you know, just pretty much try to show them, you know, behind the scenes what goes on out here on the field, and just let them be a part of this for a day.
And then do they take in the game?
Absolutely. They have pretty good seats right over here behind the third base dugout, so they get to heckle me all game over there at third base. And,
have them close by, eh?
Absolutely. So if I get a ball, I'll try to toss it up to them or whatnot.
One little girl who's formed a special relationship with Andy is Chloe Kondrich. Chloe was born to Kurt and Margie Kondrich in 2003. While at the hospital, they were given mostly negative information regarding Down syndrome. But that didn't matter to Kurt and Margie, because in their hearts they knew Chloe was destined to become a cherished member of their family and the community. While raising Chloe and watching her interact with friends and her older brother Nolan, they've discovered joys and personality traits many parents could only dream of finding. Margie, when did you find out that Chloe did have Down syndrome?
I found out shortly after delivery. I had 5 sonograms for lack of movement, but they never detected that she had Down syndrome, and I actually had asked several times if she could have Down syndrome, and they said she's going to be small, but she's going to be perfect.
Which she is.
Of course, the statistics don't paint a very happy picture for the decisions of parents who find out prenatally that they are carrying a child with Down syndrome. A vast majority of them opt for abortion.
Right.
In your experience, did you find any evidence that that pressure would have been there had you known?
Absolutely. I mean, the medical community, and from talking to other people and other parents, that they really want you to get these prenatal tests. They really push them. Then when you receive a diagnosis, the information that they disseminate, that they give you, is not, it's the worst case scenario stuff. It's all the negative things, you know, your child will have this, and cognitive delays, but they don't share the good stuff and the positive and the uplifting things. After Chloe's birth, when I started reading about that it's 90% some plus in some European countries, I was absolutely shocked by it. I could not believe that people would choose to not have a child like Chloe. And so I actually went on kind of a mission. I've been writing about it and having websites about it and speaking to as many people as I can with an open ear, that it's eugenics. I said it's a silent eugenic movement. It's a identifying, targeting, eliminating a human being because they're not perceived to have the characteristics that are highly worshipped in today's society. And I try to tell people she has the characteristics that we should hope and pray for in our children: her purity, her innocence, her unconditional love, her goodness. Those are the things that are just absolutely amazing about her. So it's a very shocking thing.
When we return, we'll hear about Chloe and Andy's first meeting.
Thank you for inviting us into your home. Each week we feature real people who deal with real-life issues head-on. Some of their experiences are uplifting, while others will break your heart. But in the end, the message is clear. Those who follow biblical principles on the issues of life are blessed. Become a partner with us in providing a positive, life-affirming message to help change the way the next generation values innocent human life. Please consider a generous gift to help offset the costs of producing this important quality programming. You can donate on our secure website at facinglife.tv or by calling the phone number on your screen during normal business hours. Together, we can make a real difference for life.
Andy LaRoche's efforts to reach out to children with Down syndrome began with Chloe Kondrich. It all started when Kurt received a phone call from the Pittsburgh Pirates inviting Chloe and her older brother Nolan to come visit Andy at the ballpark. Tell me a little bit about Chloe's relationship with Andy LaRoche.
Well, last baseball season, I actually got a call from the Pirates, and at first I thought it was a crank call. It was a woman on the side. She goes, "Hi, this is Michelle from the Pirates, and Andy LaRoche wants to meet Chloe." And I'm like, "Yeah, sure, right." But then she went on, and I realized this was a real call, and she said, "No, Andy wants to do some outreach with kids. He has a fond heart for kids with Down syndrome, and he would like Chloe to come down to the PNC Park and warm up with him, with her brother Nolan, and meet some of the guys." And I love baseball. I'm a baseball fan here in Pittsburgh. Always loved baseball. So I thought, wow, what a really awesome thing. And so we went down there, and it was a magical moment. I mean, he just came out just like he'd known us forever, and just took Chloe and Nolan out in the field and hit balls with them and played catch, and then took her down the dugout, introduced her. And I had Chloe make pictures of herself in her baseball uniform. And I had her hand them out to all the Pirate players in the dugout. And the woman from the Pirates called me the next day and goes, "I just want you to know that your daughter's picture's all over the locker room." So it was for, and Andy wore his Down syndrome awareness bracelet during the game. It's amazing. He genuinely enjoyed the company of Chloe and her brother Nolan. He was so kind to Nolan, and I don't know, it felt like we'd known him forever.
Tell me a little bit about your relationship with Chloe Kondrich.
She's an amazing girl. I had the privilege of being able to meet her last year, had her come out for batting practice, her and her family, and we got to share some good times with each other, and got to spend about an hour with each other, and introduced her to the team, and got to meet her and her family. And she's an amazing young girl.
So what was it about her that you remember the most?
Just how great her attitude was, and how loving she was towards everybody, her family, myself, the other guys in the team. Just, seeing a girl that's in that position and is able to touch lives such as ourselves. And I know every player that she met on the team, she touched their lives, and it was great, not only for her and her family to be able to come here, but for us to get to know her and to get to see what kind of person she is.
Do you think a lot of people underestimate the impact that a person with Down syndrome can contribute to society?
I think so. A lot of people, I would guess, probably say, okay, yeah, they can be good people, but they're just here. They don't really, do anything for anybody. It's just, pretty much they're having to be taken care of, and that's it. Everybody's putting the effort against them, for them to help them out. But really, getting to know her has really touched my life a lot, and it's done more for me than I'm sure I could ever do for her. Just like I said, getting to know the kind of person she is and how amazing her attitude is towards life and towards everybody around her. And I mean, she's got so much love to give everybody. It's just fun to be a part of her life. And you know, I'm looking forward to the next time that she's able to come out here and I can hang out with her again.
Now, you've been able to interact with the parents also. Tell me a little bit about what that experience has been like.
I mean, it's been great. You know, the parents, obviously it's a lot of hard work raising the kids, but the parents, it's pretty much the same as, you know, seeing any other parents, like how much they love and care about these kids, and how the kids, whether Chloe has an older brother, his name's Nolan, and you know, he doesn't have Down syndrome. He's you know, just a normal kid who loves video games and sports and everything, and you know, watching him being able to, you know, take care of his little sister, and how much love there is between the two of them, and then, you know, the parents raising the both of them. It's pretty much they're raising them both the same. You know, one might take a little more work, but it's just great watching the way the parents are able to handle these kids.
And Andy, I wanted to say, during Pirate Fest this year, which was a big event prior to the season starting, he could have invited anybody down to the convention center. He invited our family to come meet with him at the convention center, took us back in the family lounge area. We sat there, hung out, got my son an autographed baseball shirt of all the players. And it was so cool. He took Chloe and picked her up. He goes, come on, let's go meet and he walks out the convention center. There's thousands of people there. And here's this, you know, handsome young baseball player. He's walking around with Chloe like it's his daughter.
In a moment, we'll hear about the advocacy work Kurt and Chloe have been doing on behalf of children with Down syndrome.
Whether you're a student needing answers, a parent needing help, or a concerned citizen wanting to make a difference, Life Issues Institute has the resources you need to put your values into action. Life Issues Institute is an international educational organization committed to protecting innocent human life. Life Issues Institute knows what it takes. That's why millions throughout the world turn here for help. Life Issues Institute has authored more pro-life publications than any other entity in the world, and its materials are printed in over 30 languages. Radio broadcasts, newsletters, and a website filled to the brim with the answers you're looking for are just a click away. Go to facinglife.tv and click on the link to Life Issues Institute to find out more about how you can change the heart of a nation.
After Chloe's birth, Kurt was a man on a mission to learn as much as he could about Down syndrome. He left his job as a Pittsburgh police officer and went back to school, getting a master's degree in early intervention. Just by being her wonderful self, Chloe has greatly assisted her dad in advocating for Down syndrome. She's had the opportunity to meet several congressmen and senators and was invited to the Pennsylvania State Senate floor. She's even had a chance to meet Senator John McCain and one of my heroes, former Alaskan Governor Sarah Palin.
Chloe's going to meet her U.S. Congressman tomorrow, and she's been to the U.S. Capitol. She's been on the floor of the Pennsylvania Capitol. Chloe actually, 3 weeks ago, the Pennsylvania, and I do a lot of advocacy for these kids. The Pennsylvania Senate recognized World Down Syndrome Day in Pennsylvania, read a resolution on the floor citing all the positive things she had done, and she received a standing ovation from the whole Senate of Pennsylvania.
On March 21st, which was
the 21st chromosome.
Really?
Extra chromosome, and it was unbelievable to see senators and congressmen turning around and clapping for my daughter.
Now, on your website, you have a saying that says the smallest voice can have the largest impact.
Right.
What do you mean by that?
Well, one of my favorite Dr. Seuss books was Horton Hears a Who, and I love it because the message is so, here's a world that people don't even believe exists, and I often think of that like a child in the womb. People don't even know this, they don't accept that child's even a child, and it took the smallest voice in Whoville to break through the clouds of the world so that people knew they were there, and that they were a beautiful world full of many beautiful people. And actually, I'm going to speak at the Capitol Rotunda on Monday, and at the end of I'm going to use that story And when I'm done speaking on Monday, I'm going to get everybody saying we are here, because I'm speaking about kids with disabilities and why they're such a blessing to the state of Pennsylvania.
Tell me a little bit about Nolan and how all of this has impacted him. How is he different, do you think, because of his sister?
Nolan never saw Chloe any different than his sister. Well, we have pictures of him in the hospital holding her, and I think he was confused early on why people were so emotional and this and that. I mean, he was holding Chloe, and as was his sister, and he was kissing her and couldn't wait for her to get her home and play with her and this and that. And but I tell people all the time, I said, you know, Nolan is the one who Chloe wants to be like Nolan, so he's like her big role model. But he has learned such incredible patience, and he's learned that life is not about physical perfection, this and that. It's about the heart. I said he is, for an 11-year-old boy, he's already a very wise man.
According to Kurt, meeting Chloe has changed the minds of several parents deciding whether or not to abort their child with Down syndrome. It's easy to believe because Chloe's such a joy to be around. Our crew fell in love with Chloe and her family while filming at their home. She became especially attached to Dylan, one of our cameramen. It was also heartwarming to observe the relationship between Chloe and Nolan. He's especially patient and loving toward his little sister. I got to see this firsthand when I talked with the kids about meeting Andy LaRoche, playing outside, and going to the beach.
That's me.
Yeah?
I'm with Andy. That's me, Andy. That's me.
Yeah, that's you and Andy. He's your buddy, isn't he?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's my buddy.
So did you hit the baseball in the park?
I hit the baseball. I hit it higher.
Did you? Did he give you a baseball cap to wear?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I like that.
Nolan, tell me, what's the favorite thing you and Chloe get to do together?
Mostly go outside.
Mm-hmm.
I go outside.
What do you do outside?
The beach.
What do you do on the beach?
I go to the beach with Daddy.
Yeah? Do you play frisbee?
I went to baseball.
Baseball.
What did you build?
The sandcastle.
Oh.
That's me. I know.
Do you go into the water?
Yes, I go to water. Do you like go to water? And I do.
Is it cold?
I'm in the ocean like a fish. And I do like a fish.
Yeah? Is the water cold?
Yes, she is.
Tell me what it's like to be a big brother.
It's fun, and I have my own lively wake-up alarm, of course.
What do you like best about being a big brother?
I'm playing with my sister.
Yeah? When you play together, what's your favorite thing to do?
Well, she's really good at throwing the frisbee, so probably going outside and throwing the frisbee.
Mm-hmm.
I like a frisbee.
So what have you learned most about having a little sister?
It's fun to have one.
Yeah?
Okay, lovely. I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you.
And he loves you too, doesn't he?
We'd like to tell our story to save lives and encourage parents who are given a prenatal diagnosis to come and talk to us, and we'll tell you a lot of positive stories about our daughter.
Now, she's only 6.
She's only 6.
She's impacted and touched more people at 6 than most people will do in a lifetime. Can you imagine life without Chloe? What would your lives be like without her?
No, I can't. I mean, our family, our extended family, the people, it would be really like in It's a Wonderful Life to see what the world would have been like had she not entered this world. I would argue it would have been a much darker, colder place. Her presence has brought so much light and so much goodness.
I feel now that I was meant to have Chloe. Chloe's here to make a difference and change hearts, and I believe that.
Coming up, Andy's advice for interacting with children with Down syndrome.
Look around you. Every day, heroes abound in our country. We're surrounded by people who courageously face difficult obstacles life has thrown in their paths. Tune in each week to meet people who show there are positive, godly solutions to tough, critical situations. We'll tackle challenging life issues such as abortion, stem cell research, adoption, and abstinence, and show that every human life is valuable and precious. Join us for inspiring stories of people facing life head-on.
For Andy LaRoche, spending time with Chloe and other kids is as memorable as playing baseball with his brother Adam. That says a lot about the impact children with Down syndrome can have on people. Andy's hoping to set a good example and create a special lifetime memory for these kids and their families. So during your time here in Pittsburgh, what has been the most memorable for you playing on the team?
Just being able to play with my brother. That was, you know, the best experience on the field. If off the field, what kind of on would be with Chloe and these other kids.
As the power of a celebrity, professional player, and the role model that you are, what advice do you have to others who may be in your same position?
As far as when you're on the field and when you're in the spotlight, just be careful what you do and just try to, you know, give back as much as you've been given, because obviously everybody at this level has been blessed with the talent to be here, and it's always good to give back and, you know that you're only going to be here for so long, so make the most of it and just, like I said, leave on a good note, and just we're